You may have seen on an episode of Playing with a Dev where I showed Jonathan, the programmer at Irongate, how I made a two-person bed for me and Hubs. I made it a
Right.
bed for two.
Oh, okay. Let's see this again. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a two-person bed as well as some other custom beds. This video is sponsored by HostEZ. HostEZ provides dedicated server hosting with the right amount of high-quality hardware and bandwidth that you need for a smooth experience. See the link and discount code below to get your server set up and start playing with your friends right away. So here's the same basic style that I have in that video. It uses the dragon bed, and I have a little bit of decoration put around the edges. You can see that it's my bed, but if I get closer and look down here, you can also see that it's Hub's bed. So let's look at how I did this. The secret is getting the regular bed underneath the dragon bed in a way that it's still usable. Now, if you just put a bed down and try to put a dragon bed on top of it, you can do that and you can claim the top bed, but you won't be able to reach the underneath bed to claim it. So the key to this is getting a regular bed underneath the edge of a dragon bed. So I place down my regular bed, pull up the dragon bed, and I want the underneath bed to be on the edge of where my dragon bed is going to be. You can kind of tell if you look from overhead, you can see that little knob of the bed underneath us sticking out. If you can't claim the bed underneath by reaching that, then it's too far under. And you'll have to scoot it over some. Now I can reach both. And you can play with it and get it really precise looking. Now, of course, this looks kind of goofy. So then you just use some phasing of parts however you'd like by holding shift for placing and aiming at the floor to make the bed look a bit more custom. You can do the same thing on the sides. Hold shift and slide it underneath so that it's covering up the bed that's hiding. You just need to make sure that when you're covering up the front that you leave the little nub at the top sticking out, because I can't claim it through a piece of wood. I have to be able to reach this little part at the top. To be able to place it so that I can still reach the top of the underneath bed, hold shift with a wood pole, scoot it a little bit forward and place it there as a backer. Then come back to your bed railing, hold shift again, aim at that beam that you just placed as backer, and line it up with the other bed rail. Then when I delete my backer, I can still see enough of the underneath bed to claim it. Then add a bit more decoration. And voila, a two-person bed. Phasing happens really well around the beds. So this gives you a lot of options of things that you can do just by holding shift. You can easily make custom headboards. You can make a lower four-post by using the short beams, or if you want to use a fancier one and you don't mind something phasing through the bottom of the floor depending on what you have underneath. We don't have the dark wood in the 1 meter beam. If you'd like it to look fancy, you can just clip the dark wood right through and they phase together perfectly. A different version of a two-person bed is to make bunk beds. So you start with a regular bed, Use the wood beams phased into the corners by holding shift and aiming at the floor. So that gives you a foundation. Then put the guardrails in. If you do it too narrow for the full 2 meter, just aim at each post. Then get your wood floor 1 by 1 and make a shelf. You can have the 1 by 1 phase into the same width. Add a ladder, pop in your second bed, and then add your decoration. For bunk beds, I like to use signs as a decoration on the side. Start with the one in the middle to be centered. Then line up the sides. And with this, you can use symbols or even word art to make a pattern on your bed. This can look especially fun if you're making a kid's bed. Something I've seen people comment about a lot is wishing that they could customize the covers on the bed. So let's look at how to do that. So say we have a dragon bed. We don't have any soft fabrics to put on the bed that will exactly fit the space correctly. However, you can make some unique changes to the look. For example, the wolf rug is white. So when you put it on there, it does look like it has a different effect than normal. Same with the lox rug. Although this sticks out a lot more on the edges. Of course, we know with being able to phase into the edges, we can compensate for that if we want to. We could make it a 4-poster. Put something around the edges. We could even do a double rail to make it look a bit more finished. You may be thinking, yes, but Christy, you can't claim this bed. However, you can if you don't point at where you would lay down on the bed. You can still claim a bed by pointing at the headboard or at the footboard. Even if I embed banners to add special accents, I can still claim the bed if it's in the middle of the wood, in front of the wood, through the wood. Doesn't matter. I can still claim it. And speaking of using beams as backers, you can also use beams in core logs to give a unique accent. You can place the beam first or the core wood log first. Doesn't matter because they will meld and integrate together. Then you have a more unique look. If you don't want the bed covers just looking like they have a different effect, but you can still see the other bed below, you could keep adding them on if you have enough rugs until they build up so high that you can't even see the dragon bed below anymore. Now that is a very customized bed. However, one thing you cannot do with this design is add your item stand to put in your own neck plushie. Another way that you could do it that will allow you to put plushies on the bed is to pull out a 2x2 wood floor. I can attach it to all kinds of things around the bed, including the custom frame that I've put on, or if I had to, I could press it up against the wall behind the bed. Now I can use shift click to get it as high as I want over the covers if I don't want any of them showing through at all. Now if I place my lox rug, I have the look of my custom bed again. And now item stands work. So I can throw on my plushies. As long as I can reach a part of the headboard, Even through banners, I can still claim the bed. And I can still sleep in it. Now this last idea includes some things from the Mountain Caves update. Have ourselves a bed. I'm going to place a platform just above the current bedding. Now look at this beautiful new color of red jute carpet that we have. That is a nice bright color to liven up houses with. This rug is larger than the other rugs, so you do have to accommodate for the size. It also has really nice straight edges, which comes in handy in a lot of situations. So if, like before, I make this rug into my bed top, I can decorate around the edges, just pulling everything out farther to accommodate the width of the bed. You can get a lot cleaner lines. To me, it looks more contemporary even if you want to make it look that way. Boxing in the top. Close in the side a bit. I could even cover the existing headboard entirely. Giving me a much more modern look. But because I have these two nibs sticking up right here, I can still claim the bed. And look at this cool item that we can get in caves. If I take the item stand and make it facing down at about 4 o'clock, bottom right of your monitor. Isn't it nice how we can see where they're facing now? I'm going to put one about a third of the way across. And put another one closer over to this edge. Now, when I attach the new Ulf trophy, is it just me? Or does that look like nice fuzzy pillows? Or at least a comfy throw? Until next time, happy gaming!